There's never been a lot of common sense in this world, but today it's hit a critical low. Okay, everybody, let's use some common sense here, and we'll talk about the $400 million jet that Trump wants to get from Qatar. Yeah, $400 million. The Defense Department is already working on the new Air Force Ones. Okay, they're making two of them because you always have to have the original and a backup. So since they're making the two, they were supposed to be ready a couple of years ago. There's been a series of delays. In fact, when Trump was first in power, he was arguing it was costing too much money and taking too long, but he eventually approved it because he thought they were going to be ready in the next couple of years. So we now find out that the jets are going to be ready in 2027. That's 2 years from now. They've already spent, or at the end of all of this, they're going to spend $3.9 billion. That means almost $4 billion has probably already been spent, or at least will be spent by the time these two jets are done. It's incredible the amount of money that they spend on these jets for the President of the United States. Watch these clips.
Imagine this, the President of the United States finally steps aboard a brand new Air Force One. After years of delays and billions in overruns, Boeing aims to deliver by 2027. This new Air Force One, a Boeing 747-8, is part of a $3.9 billion program.
The long-delayed new Air Force One jets from Boeing might now be delivered as soon as 2027. While that's still years behind the original delivery date of 2022, it's 2 years earlier than Boeing had recently predicted back in February. President Donald Trump had expressed frustration over the delays, but this new delivery schedule would ensure he could use the new aircraft before the end of his term.
So, common sense, does it say, let's spend up to another $1 billion on the plane from Qatar that won't be ready until probably at best 2028, 2029, maybe even longer. Like, it's a long time to take a jet completely apart, check it all over, rebuild it with all the communications and stuff that's in Air Force One. But let's say they spend another $1 billion. That would bring the total to $4.9 billion, almost $5 billion. And now you're going to have 3 planes.
Keeping them honest with breaking news about that 747 the Qatari royal family is giving to President Trump, which he will keep, he says, for his library after leaving office. We learned today that it could take 2 years and $750 million or more to bring the plane up to Air Force One standards. Now, that's according to a person familiar with the matter. $750 million or more to take it apart, check for surveillance devices, then refit it with the defenses, communications gear, and all the rest a commander-in-chief needs. In short, all the gear already on the 747 he flew to Saudi Arabia for a day of pomp and ceremony, fighter escort included, and which he'll fly in just a few hours to Qatar for more of the same. His current 747, though, aging, already has all of that, and so will the new 747 Boeing is building, which is years behind schedule, as the president has pointed out, but which the company now says it could deliver in the next 2 years. In other words, about the same delivery time as the one the president says he'd be stupid not to take.
So here's what's really going to happen, okay? Got to really think about it, apply a lot of common sense. He's going to go out and he's going to tell everybody that there's no way he wants to spend another $1 billion on this plane because we have 2 planes coming in 2027. He'll say he is so amazing and he's making America great and he's saving money because, I mean, it's a beautiful thing that he's going to do. Now, the real reason he's going to do this is because right now his personal plane that he calls Trump Force One, okay, doesn't have all that security measures on it, doesn't have all the communications in it that Air Force One has, and it doesn't need to be refueled while it's flying. None of this is on his personal jet now.
And so now they turn around like, hey, you know what? I'll give you a brand new one, $400 million plane, man, just for no reason, just gonna give it to you. And really, it says that in the deal, it says that after he leaves office, the plane is then his.
So at the end of all of this, in 2029, January 1st, right before Inauguration Day in 2029, this plane goes to him personally. It becomes Donald Trump's plane, not the government, okay? Donald Trump's plane, okay? This means that now he can scrap his plane, Trump Force One, okay, which is actually worthless. Because if you remember, when he was flying around for his campaign, making all of his false promises about cheaper groceries and cheaper housing and ending the wars and everything else, okay, he was flying around in Jeffrey Epstein's plane. He had it painted, okay, to look like his plane, but it wasn't his plane because his plane is old, it's crappy, it's time to get rid of it. In other words, wouldn't it be a great replacement for a new $400 million flying palace? Remember this?
Donald Trump has been traveling to campaign events on a jet that was previously owned by Jeffrey Epstein. Trump's usual Boeing 757, nicknamed Trump Force One, was grounded due to a mechanical issue. While it was out of service, he chartered a Gulfstream jet once owned by Epstein, the disgraced financier who died in jail in 2019.
Okay, at the end of all this, at the end of the day, at the end of his term, no matter how you want to look at it, Trump gets a new jet. Donald Trump personally gets a new jet. American people don't benefit from it. Taxpayers don't benefit from it. The only person that benefits from this new jet is Donald Trump. Now the question is, what's it really going to cost? Because I don't care what you're worth. And we all know that Qatar, their GDP is only $200 billion a year, even though Donald Trump says they're going to give them $1.2 trillion. I mean, I guess you could write down, I'll give you $1.2 trillion when you have no way of doing that because your GDP is only $200 billion. But nobody gives away a plane worth $400 million for nothing. So they're getting something out of this. I want you to think about that. What is Qatar really getting for the $400 million jet that they just want to give to Donald Trump?